Greetings, everybody. My name is Travis Guse. I'm the Mission Engagement Facilitator for the SED Central Region. It is a joy and privilege to once again bring this iGo vlog to you, to empower you as everyday missionaries, wherever you live, work, and play, in order to help you to be a greater blessing to your neighbors, to love and serve them in order to connect people to Jesus. Well, today I want to talk about the idea of how we can actually bless others. This is a continuation of the vlog I did last week of how we were blessed to be a blessing. And we see how that God intends through us that his blessing would come as we love and serve our neighbor. Well, today let's talk more in practical terms of how do we do that. You know, it was interesting. There was a dissertation study that was done about people who went out with the primary objective of converting people versus those who went out to bless people, to do good in their neighborhoods with their neighbors. And you know, the interesting thing that they found was that the converters really did no social good, and that really at the end of it, they only converted 2 people, where those who went out to bless did a lot of social good, and actually they found that about 100 people came to faith in Jesus. Really kind of the primary motivation is so important. Are we out to, in a sense, do something to people and try to get that commitment to Jesus or get them converted to the faith? Or are we simply going out to be a conduit of God's blessing to others? And then as we do, and we love and serve others, that we earn that right to be in their life and to be able to share the good news of the gospel, that we're actually invited into that. Well, here in the Southeastern District, we've got kind of a practical step, an acronym that we use to think about how we can be a blessing. It's called the BLESS model. And when we think about the word bless, and we break it down as an acronym, it starts with bonding. That we first need to actually bond with somebody over something of a common interest that we have. It might be over a meal, a barbecue in a backyard, a quality beverage, or a cup of coffee, or perhaps playing darts or axe throwing, or whatever it might be, that we find a way that we can connect with people over some common interest in life. Then what we do after we bond with them is then we need to learn. We got to learn about who they are. That takes actually listening. So many times we think about sharing the gospel as what we say, but there's a reason God has given us 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason. And actually what we need to do is just to listen to their life experience, to listen to their story and learn about what God has been doing in and through their life, even if they don't know who he is. Well, after we bond and after we listen, after we learn, the next step is we engage. And that reminds us that we've actually got to make margin in our life in order to connect with people who don't know Jesus. We have to put aside some busyness so that we can be in people's life day in and day out, because it's only in that interaction that we're truly going to be able to be the blessing that God intends over a long period of time. Well, after we bond, after we learn and listen, after we engage, then the idea is serve. And it's finding ways that we can be that practical blessing, that we can love and serve them in a way that's going to make a difference in their life. You know, right now it might be a little hard to do that with COVID-19, but there's still some ways that we can serve others. Maybe it's taking a meal to somebody, maybe it's going out and doing some shopping for them or picking up a prescription, or perhaps it's sitting on the back deck or the front driveway, or perhaps just picking up the phone or getting on an online conversation and just talking with people. There are a lot of people who are alone and isolated, and they're feeling that they don't have anybody to talk to in life. And this is a great way that we can serve others, is just with our presence. And then finally, after we bond and we learn and listen, we engage, we serve, then we share. And sharing comes last. It's not our primary objective, but what we are doing is praying for an opportunity that when we've earned that trust in their life, that we're invited to share the reason for the hope that we have, that we can speak of the hope of Jesus, of why we believe what we believe. And you're going to find when you do this and you're praying about this and really truly seeking to be that blessing, that it's going to become natural. It's not something you're going to have to force in people's life. It's just being in people's lives, and when they notice the light of God's love shining through us, and we simply are seeking to be that blessing, they're going to ask about that. And when we have that opportunity, that's where we get to share that good news of Jesus. Well, I hope that this has been a blessing to you. because you have been blessed to be a blessing. And may this bless model be a guide for you to think about how do you begin to engage with your neighbors, whether on your cul-de-sac, in your apartment complex, in your school or your workplace, or wherever God calls you to, maybe the softball field or the local coffee shop. And that this will help you to think about some practical steps to be able to be that blessing that God intends, to be able to be used by Jesus to bless others so that we ultimately can reflect the light of Christ with those who do not know him and are seeking some hope in life. God's richest blessings to you, and we'll catch you next time for our next iGo vlog.